California has implemented a comedy ban. That's right. The comedy
Yeah.
ban is active in California now.
Which means, on the bright side, Saturday Night Live is safe.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, they're East
Uh,
Coast anyway, but they could still air that in California. It's not
they can
blacked
still
out.
air it. You
Right.
just can't make it in California. So, all the podcasters out there, Jimmy better come to New York. He says he loves it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should come to New York. Kim should come to New York. Who else is out there doing this? Kurt
Pasta's out
left
there
now.
part time. Yeah.
Is he out there part time? I
Yeah, I
didn't
think
know
he
that.
splits his time now. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys do any kind of AI generated parody, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to have to go old school, man. Nose putty.
Yeah.
You're going to have to glue on the fake beards now.
That's right.
So Gavin Newsom signs election deepfake ban in rebuke to Elon Musk. California Governor Gavin Newsom signed the country's toughest law banning digitally altered political deepfakes on Tuesday, following through on a vow to act after rebuking Elon Musk for sharing a doctored video of Vice President Kamala Harris. I love how they put that. A doctored video. You see, this is how the media manipulates you. They use very loaded terms like that. They didn't say anything, but they say a lot to give you a certain slant on the story.
Yeah, for those who lack the background on this, the
Yeah,
video in question, which we won't even play because you never know what the rules are here. Now you have to mark everything parody if it's
right,
parody.
right.
The video in question is a fake ad, a parody ad, something that
That
you
is
would air on
obviously
SNL.
a joke.
That is obviously a joke where Kamala's voice in voiceover says, "Hi, I'm a diversity hire and I'm not qualified, but vote for me anyway because I'm happy and new." It's something like that.
I can't believe she recorded something like that about herself. Like who in the world thought that when they heard that?
Very obviously a parody ad, obvious within the first 10 seconds of the ad that it's a spoof. Right. It's not a doctored video. The intention was not to pass that off as Kamala Harris. The intention was satire.
Course.
Obviously. Yes. The most obvious thing in the world. Yeah.
Yes. The new California law, which will take effect before the November election, channels rising alarm about artificial intelligence's capacity to disrupt elections by sowing misinformation, with voters increasingly confronted with deepfake images and audio impersonating candidates. Musk, who owns X, stoked that debate when he shared the AI altered video of Harris in July, drawing Newsom's public promise to prohibit similar practices. Quote, I could care less if it was Harris or Trump. Sure you could. Right, Newsom told Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff during a conversation on Tuesday. It was just wrong on every level. No, I'm sure if they dropped a equivalent video of Trump saying, I'm a big fat slob who's never accomplished anything without my daddy's money. Yeah, he would have passed this law right away.
Right.
Right away. Newsom also signed a companion bill on Tuesday that targets deepfakes by compelling platforms to pull down such content when users flag them, although that bill will not take effect until next year. He signed a third measure requiring disclaimers on political ads that use AI. The new laws help cement California's leading role in regulating emergent AI and also cements its role as the state going downhill the fastest in America. Even as the states, that was my editorial comment, Politico would never say such a thing. Even as the state's homegrown tech industry has pushed back and blocked some laws, Democratic state lawmakers have embraced those efforts as a divided Congress struggles to advance meaningful legislation, and concerns about AI's potentially anti-democratic downsides reverberate around the world. Newsom signed the measures on the same day Democratic Rep. Adam Schiff, the frontrunner to become California's next senator, helped introduce a similar bill to ban fraudulent AI campaign ads. Deputy U.S. Attorney General Lisa Monaco highlighted AI threats, including those emanating from foreign adversaries, during Politico's AI and Tech Summit on Tuesday. Quote, it is the ultimate double-edged sword. It holds great promise, but also exceptional peril because it's lowering the barrier to entry for all sorts of malicious actors. And we claim the right to be the only malicious actors in the propaganda space, Monica went on. There will be changes in law. She didn't say that. There will be changes in law, I'm confident, over time. The California ban on campaign deepfakes will allow courts to issue injunctions blocking people from distributing intentionally deceptive political content during election season, and it exposes people who share deepfakes to civil penalties. The bill was intentionally written to take effect before the November election. Assembly member Gail Pellerin, a Santa Cruz Democrat and former county elections official who carried the bill, has repeatedly warned that the 2024 cycle represented the nation's first AI election. The measure also includes deceptive content about election officials to shield against candidates and others targeting poll workers in the aftermath of elections, as former President Donald Trump has explicitly done. The debate about AI in politics has set concerns about misinformation and election integrity against warnings about eroding free speech protections. Tech companies have argued restrictions on AI alterations may undercut the First Amendment, and Musk noted in an X reply to Newsom that parody is legal in America. The back and forth between Newsom and Musk over AI content adds another chapter to their tumultuous years-long relationship. A former San Francisco mayor with deep tech industry ties, Newsom has lauded Musk for helping to launch the electric car industry through Tesla, growing the company with the help of generous state subsidies. But they have clashed as Musk's politics have veered to the right, and he has blasted California officials for pandemic shutdown orders, as well as transgender student privacy legislation. Some of those disputes have played out in court. An appeals court recently backed X's challenge to a 2022 law signed by Newsom that requires social media companies to disclose more information about their content moderation policies. Okay, so at least one sector of society is very happy about this. Impersonators, because AI was just about to put them out of business. And hey, now everybody who does a great Obama, does a great Trump, does a great Kamala Harris, you're back in business, baby.
That's right.
They're gonna have to hire you.
Bailed out.
Held out. I said this when I was doing Jimmy's show in LA. One of the only places that was accessible to me without a car that I could reasonably get to by public transportation was Hollywood Boulevard. And, you have all the souvenir shops there. And in one of the souvenir shops, they would play these Obama promotions. Only $5 for every item if you fill your basket in the next hour. And I said to the guy working there, I was like, that guy does a great Obama. He was like, yeah, it's AI. And I said, and I thought about it, and I was like, wow, man, yeah, impersonators are out of a job. AI can, you're never going to get a person who can do it as well as an AI can. It's going to take the actual vocal patterns and just recreate them. But now I guess at least in California, it's going to become an oasis for impersonators. If I were to game this out over the next 10 years, I think you're probably going to get an impersonator separatist movement. There will probably be a town in California that incorporates as its own state.
Where everyone is someone else. That'll be the
everyone is someone else.
Welcome to X, where everyone is someone else. No, the stupidity of this law, is incredible, because when you think about it, this is really only to be used against satire. I mean, when you think about it, has there been a candidate who has tried to actually use AI in a deceptive ad? If they did that, they would be caught very quickly. If you tried to cut together an attack ad against AOC, where an AI-generated AOC is saying something that AOC didn't say, that would be big news immediately. It would be discrediting, if not disqualifying. Like, who out there is actually going to do that? Or some yahoos on the internet might do that, sure, and they could be sued for that. I mean, that's fraudulent to misrepresent someone. in that way if you're doing it with that intent. Satire is not done with that intent, quite obviously. Quite obviously. And so when Politico refers to the ad, the altered ad, that was not an ad. That was not a campaign ad.
No.
That was a piece of satire. That was an artistic piece.
Well, that's what I mean. This is how they do it. This is how they drum up a narrative. This is why you'll talk to your lib relatives and they're completely disconnected from reality.
Right. They'll say that was an altered ad. No, it was not an altered ad. Just because you read it in Politico doesn't mean it was an altered ad. That was obviously a piece of satire. And that is, that kind of expression is what will be cracked down upon the most, because you'd have to be a total imbecile as a candidate or a PAC for a candidate to actually engage in that type of fraud. You would be called out immediately for it. It would be flagged immediately. This is the internet. 99% of misinformation gets flagged and community noted with a checkbox that say, hey, this is fake or this is wrong. And as is the case with most social media censorship, most of what they would have legitimate grounds to censor you for is stuff that is illegal anyway, which means you don't need the censorship. Right? Exactly. It is illegal to impersonate a political candidate and fraudulently pass off an AI version of them as them. That is in violation of all kinds of, campaign laws. And so that means you don't need the censorship. You have legal structure.
Well, this is the Jerry Falwell precedent covers this. Would a reasonable person construe it as satire?
Right.
Just because it's AI. Okay, so all you accomplish with that, and I made a joke out of it, but really it's true. Okay, well, so you're just going to have to keep doing it old school, but you can produce the same thing. You need an impersonator. If you want some images that are not real, you need some graphic designers. And that's it. So that's legal. You just can't do the same exact thing with AI. It's completely nonsensical.
Yeah. Yep. And you're right. Obviously, if that were an AI Trump satire, that would not have been passed with this same urgency, at least, for sure. For sure. They'd think that was hilarious. They'd share that around far and wide.
Now, just to be fair, okay, is there a problem when you have AI now? I for some reason they were dropping this into my advertisement. I guess they figured I missed dead relatives. On Facebook, the last week they've been trying to sell me some service that will take your old family photos and use AI to put it in motion. Yeah, like turn your dead parents into like living when they were holding you as a baby. They'll be moving around. Okay, yeah. Are there legitimate concerns about AI and deepfakes? Sure. I think the reasonable compromise is, I could see passing something where you have to label satire as satire because the AI is so effective. Or if you're going to use AI to generate campaign ad content, that might be the same exact thing you would have hired a graphic designer to do, but it's cheaper, it's faster to just have the AI do it. Label AI generated content in this ad. I could see that as a reasonable piece of legislation to balance freedom of speech against the realities of what AI can do. But that is not what this is. That's not the intention here. The intention here is censorship.
Please clap.